Hey Cancerians, how you doing? We're going to be doing your second half of October general reading here. In your meditation, I was getting Christmas vibes. I heard sleigh bells ring. Are you listening? And the lane snow is glistening, a beautiful sight. We're happy tonight, walking in the winter wonderland. Could be about a projection forward of wanting to, kind of move through the rest of this year. And because if you think about it, winter time is very much about, snuggling in. You're not on such a time constraint. It's kind of like an understood, societally accepted thing to, turn in early and tuck in. And there's not the same feeling of, well, aren't you going to come out? Aren't you going to go and do this? It's a time to slow down. So I do feel that there is within you, because I also saw an image of the Ten of Swords, which is about something fully ending so that something new can begin. So it almost feels like I'm projecting forward in time to the new year somehow. Let's see what comes up for y'all. Ooh, that just flew. Okay, well this is absolutely perfect. So we have the Phoenix here. Remember when I just said Ten of Swords and how that's the complete ending something so that something new can emerge? That's what the Phoenix is. I mean, that's just, that's what it is. This is a complete death so that new life can arise from the ashes, just like the Phoenix does, right? Emerging. This actually makes a lot of sense. Do you remember when I said, it's a time to tuck in and be cozy and turn in, and then I'm getting this fiery thing of sitting by the warm fire. It does feel like there's an aspect of you that's projecting forward in time to the winter. It's almost as if I know this reading is for the second half of October, but I do feel like I'm being projected in time where the end of this year going into the new year is going to be a beautiful jumping off point for you. And this could be because it's been a year, because it has been a year. It's been a 3-year, which means when things are really good, they're fabulous. And when they're not, they're really not, right? So perhaps this aspect of you that wants it to be the end of the year so that we can go into the new year could be in part because it's just been a very full year. It's had its ups and certainly it's had its downs. And it's like, okay, I'm feeling the weight of it. I've worked hard. I've done my part. Now can I just tuck in, eat a bunch of Christmas cookies, sit by the fire or whatever holiday just eat. Some hot chili by the fire, and there's just feels like this super need to click in with this. And if you're not in the northern hemisphere, you don't have to take this literally, but either way, there is this draw to the end of the year and this need to slow down and just live with more freedom in terms of your time constraints or your daily schedule or routine. Kind of feels like. Let's see what's going on with y'all. Justice. Wow. Gorgeous. So, this is really funny to me because so this is the card, this is the key for Libra. We are in Libra season. So in this whole time, I'm feeling like I want to project forward in time into Sagittarius or Capricorn season. And this is coming up as saying this is the past energy that could be affecting the now. It does feel like we want to be in another season or we want to move forward and kind of skip ahead to a time where it's just time to unwind and cool down and slow down. This is about balance and things going fairly, and it's no, this is how it's supposed to be. See how justice, Lady Justice is blind type of deal. So it's this feeling of fair is fair, right is right, equal give and take, reciprocity. The scales will balance out in your favor if you've put in the work and effort. And remember, I was just saying, it felt like, I did my part. I know we're in October, but I really just I'm waiting. I'm waiting to go in and just be towards the end of this year. And look at this, you have the sun, which is so beautiful here. Leo energy here. You have 2 major arcanas, which is brilliant and intense and destined time. The sun is the happiest, key in the whole deck. And I'm loving the parallel between the sun and the Phoenix. Would you just look at this realness? Very tied into the heat aspect of this. And I'm also obsessed because sunflowers are very much equated with August, September. We are in October, but they're still very much being sold. They are an autumnal flower, right? Sold in those autumnal flower arrangements and everything like that. I feel like this is, very much being called to, and again with the red. It's red in its mouth and then the red Yeah. Everything in its time. Okay. It feels like, okay. Do you know when, first of all, traditionally the sun is about illumination, a lot of happiness, children, or having the freedom that children do. Well, not all children, but I'm just speaking like ideally, right? Because if you think about it, you know what they say, like children shouldn't have problems. It's when you get to adulthood. It's like you're too young to worry about that. Don't worry about how we're gonna, pay this bill or make this happen or whatever have you. It's like you're a child, be a child. And you as a Cancer, you are the nurturer of the zodiac. There's a lot of maternal energy within your sign. There is this feeling here of just like really wanting to be a kid again and nurture, instead of nurturing everyone else, be nurtured. That's what it feels like. Wrap me up in a warm blanket, sit me by the fire, fix me a bowl of veggie chili, whatever chili you like. I like a veggie chili with some hot cornbread. And I don't want to have to be anywhere in the morning. I don't want to have to clock in. I just want to be here all nice and cozy and snuggle and wuggles. Because I'm drawn to the fact that this horse is standing still. And the crow on top of it with this red fabric in its mouth. It's like, this reminds me of the red string of fate. And with this, which ties two soulmates together, right? And it feels like this red aspect, the crow holding in its mouth and the horse is still. I think about it too. You guys are the chariot key in the tarot deck, right? You're represented by the chariot. The chariot is two horses, balanced forward, fast moving forward energy. And then it's really like stand still here. And it's like, okay, anything that requires more of you, like you've got to die first, not to be like overly, morbid. But the best part of the phoenix is when it rises again from the ashes. And I feel like this is saying like, let yourself like really, really wind down, slow down, really, really, really any responsibilities that you normally keep to, whether that's going to the gym at a certain time or doing that extra for that friend that you just don't have right now. It's like, be where you are in any given moment. If right now it feels like Christmas time to you, let it be Christmas time. Or Hanukkah, or whatever season equates to you. I keep saying Christmas time because that came up in your meditation, but really if we're looking deeper, especially for those of you who don't celebrate Christmas, what is that time of the year about? No matter where you live, it's about slowing down. The work hours are different, places are closed for the holiday. It's this kind of permission, this collective permission to slow down and just be on vacation where you are. And I feel like that is very much where you're coming from right now, but only because it's been earned, right? You've had a year. Let yourself like wind down so that you can gear up and be the phoenix for next year, right? That's very much what this feels like. Now we got 2 for 1 here. So first of all, you got the 8 of Swords, again with this red fabric. And remember how it was like blinded over here too? The 8 of Swords is very much about mental entrapment, a mental prison to which only we hold the key. Right? It's like that, Dorothy, all you had to do was click your heels 3 times to go home. It's like that sort of imagery. And then we have the 6 of Pentacles here, which is about reciprocity, give and take. What was I just saying? And again, with these scales here, going back to this justice, let's see the double scales here. My lovely Cancerians, you guys do have a habit of saying yes to things before you say no. Not everybody, but a lot of the time. And especially the energy that I'm clicking into. It's like, yeah, I'll pick up, your kids for you from that event, even though I really need to be over here with my kids. Or, yes, I will edit this next draft for you, even though I'm tired and I want to, like, that's the thing. I feel like you are very much there for other people. You seldomly say no when it's a friend asking. And I really feel like this 8 of Swords, if you are not in a place to do something that you would, air quote, normally do to the best of your ability because you are tired or you're feeling the need to nurture yourself or whatever have you, then it's okay to say no. But anything that you don't feel that you have gas in the tank for right now, guess what? It's because you've had a year, you've already spent a lot of your gas, and you need, it's time to like, be in your own energy and space. I also feel like there are going to be things illuminated for you around this time of people that give more than they, that take more than they give. Did I say that already? I feel like that came up at the beginning with justice. It's like around this sun, anyone who takes more than they give, you're suddenly going to be seeing them in a new light. And you're like, wow, especially to the empaths here. Ooh, whenever I hang out with them, I'm more tired. That's the universe telling you to make some changes because they're giving more than they're taking more than they're giving, right? Interesting. Clarifier for justice. The Hanged Man. See, I love it when a major clarifies a major. This is about taking a time out. We're seeing the ties here, right? Taking a time out. This is not about active forward movement. It's about taking a freaking break and being where you are. Time to flip your perspective and see your circumstances differently. This is the phoenix, dying so that it can rise again. And I feel like there's this call to look at your life in a way where it's like, where am I giving a lot but not receiving in equal measure? Where am I overdoing it? Where am I skipping over my own personal needs to meet the needs of others? And where can I make changes around that, right? Clarifier for the sun. Oh my God, you can't make this stuff up. Another major, and I just saw 1111 on the timer. Again, with the major arcana clarifying a major arcana. This is rare, yet you've had it twice in a row now. The Hermit, Virgo energy. This is exactly what I just said. This is going inside to discern what is and is not no longer working for you. This is also the card of the empath. And I've been talking about empaths. An empath is someone who feels other people's feelings as their own. Remember when I said that things are going to be illuminated, relationships that are no longer reciprocal or maybe never were, or where you're overdoing it in some areas and underdoing it in others? Things are going to be illuminated as to you, your given circumstances, your environment, the people around you, etc. Remember when I said this is illuminated, and then you have the illumination here. This is the star from the star key that the Hermit holds in its lantern. Hi. Hi and goodbye. That's what this is. You have two keys here. They're really about taking a time out to go within, be in your own energy, and not be on the clock. There's really only a few cards that really denote that. You got two of them. The other one is Four of Swords, right? But this is all about going in, and to see how it's icy here, how it's icy and frozen, and I've been talking about this like winter time of year. Be still, be frozen. Let it completely die like the winter time so that you can rise up like the phoenix. I feel like this has a lot to do with the new year. I just do. I feel like it. I just feel it. Let's get a clarifier for this Eight of Swords and this Six of Pentacles. Okay. Oh God. Another major arcana here. This is a very intense time, Cancers, if you have not gathered that. You got the moon. You got the freaking moon here. Again, with this lantern and torch, right? I'm also drawn to the two wolves here in the background. This is very much about, going your own way, setting your own path, being the master of your own wolf pack, even if it's a party of one, darling, at least for right now. The moon is about the unknown. It's about seeing the unseeable. It's about tapping into those aspects of ourselves or others to illuminate our situation in ways that were previously hidden from us, because the moon speaks of hidden things, secrets, things that are eluding our attention. You see how the trees here are also barren, not a leaf on it? Let it be winter. Or if you're in the southern hemisphere, let it be summer, but like a slow, lazy, still summer. See where I'm going with this? I'm getting a huge call for you to slow down. And really re-examine, and see the Eight of Swords here with what you're not seeing, and then back to the moon. This is amazing. I feel like you're being called to look at what is and isn't working. What's reciprocal and what's not. I feel like for this past year, you guys put a lot of effort into certain aspects of your life, whether it's career, love, home, whatever that is. And I feel like it really paid off in some areas. And then in other areas, it was like, oh, did I need to put that much effort into it? But it feels like you're being called to let yourself be at the standstill, okay? That's what it feels like. I want to get an Archangel Gabriel for you guys. Oh my God. Okay. Creative expression. God's divine creativity is expressed through your actions. I'm going to read that again. God's divine creativity is expressed through your actions. Now, this is really, really gorgeous. And I feel like this is speaking to what is on the other side of this Phoenix situation. Okay? I love that they're on a stage, by the way. Do you see these like flowering trees? And we've been talking about going into the new year, and I feel this whole like spring is sprung situation. We've got a lot of green here, which is about the heart chakra, going inside to really connect with that. You know, God's divine creativity is expressed through your actions. I feel like this is particularly speaking to those of you who are going to become aware of these changes that need to be made and have some fear regarding that or some resistance to change. Even those of you who may feel like, oh, I don't really feel like I'm as appreciated for some of you as I feel like I don't feel like people are appreciating me for my own worth, right? When you're in that place, really be honest with yourself, okay? Assume the hermit position, assume the hangman position, and ask yourself, are you giving your power away and then resenting someone else for having your power and taking advantage of you? And I say this with complete love for some of you. Because the shadow side, because every sign has a shadow side, darling, right? The light side of the Cancerian energy is you are the nurturers. You have hearts, just huge hearts. Your feelings work for you when you're in your light energy and you're compassionate and all of those beautiful things, right? You're a great listener. You want to help, all of those things. But every sign, like I said, has a shadow energy, and Cancerian shadow energy is victimization of oneself, playing the martyr, playing the victim. Oh, this was done to me. This was put upon me. And failing to see that you were an active participant in everything that you draw towards you. Because it's about what you're a vibrational match to. It's time to really look at what you've become a vibrational match to, what you've drawn towards you, and either celebrate those things and or remove, okay, I attracted this, but I no longer want to, so let me assume this still position and change my vibration and lift it up, let myself rest, so that I can become a vibrational match to even more of what I desire and less of what I don't. And with this creative expression, God's divine creativity is expressed through your actions. I feel like that's what that's saying here. You can tap into that God source energy and attract to you the kind of situations that you want. Now I want to bring something up. This is a pair of two, right? Two babies here. Two kids, by the way, who I also saw here with the kid returning to that childlike, place and position, right? And I do feel like you need to be nurtured. Who's taking care of you when you're taking care of everybody else, right? And I feel like it's saying, like, God, I don't want to get into like a long monologue about, God necessarily, because that's, not the point of this, but the godlike energy, it's like, what do we have in common with God? What is one thing that we can point to easily and say, okay, well, God is the great creator and we are creators. That's what we have in common. Something easy we can point to. We are creators as God is the great creator, right? So I also feel like this is an end note to say that in conjunction with this Phoenix energy, now is the time where you can create your own reality moving forward. It doesn't have to bear any, resemblance to the past if you don't want it to. Or it can if you want it to. Right? But this is really a time to kind of look forward and go, what do I want my life to look like? Where do I want to be? Also a special note, if any of you, because sometimes there's a name for it, seasonal defective, something where we can get the blues at any given season, whether it's because, it's holiday family time and we feel alienated, or it's cold, it's seasonal something. Anyway, if you have any feelings like that, creating something reminds you of the creator that you are and will get you out of that energy and raise your vibration. Whether literally that's like painting, drawing, listening to music while you're walking around and thinking of ideas, whatever that is. But creativity and creating is something that's going to be the tonic during this time, right? When you're assuming the hermit position and hangman. Because this isn't saying go sit in a corner and be still and, chant Om. I mean, if you want to, cool. But that's not the only thing. I feel like this is how you assume this position, is to spend time creating and not being on the clock. That's what you're being called to do right now. And hear me when I say that you've earned this. So take it. Let yourself die all the way. Let things end. Let aspects of you end. Let patterns end. Let this year end so that you can rise up and be the phoenix and start anew. Because another thing I know about Cancerians is you got to fill your cup up all the way so that you can turn around and offer it to others, which is what you're really good at, right? Which is beautiful. All right, my beautiful Cancerians, I so hope this helped and resonated. If so, please let me know in the comments below. And with that being said, thank you so much for being here. And as always, just thank you for being you, and be well.